What is going on, Cheesepuffs? Your pal Cheeto here, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Cheeto and Chillen. I hope y'all guys got your favorite snacks and drinks because we're chilling for a bit. So in this video, since it's Nintendo theme, I decided to wear the shirt again, even though it's the same day. I decided that it would be great to do a top 5 NES games that I was so glad to beat the game. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing better than beating a game that you loved growing up as a kid, and it took you hours and years and decades to finally beat. And these are the games, and I am going to share them with you today. So before we start, make sure you take this fist to hit that like button. Also share with a friend and make sure to subscribe for more Cheetoriffic content. So without further ado, let's start this top 5. We're pressing that play button. Here we go. Okay, so the first game on the list is Commando. I remember getting this at my grandma's one time. I don't know exactly how old I was, but let's just say Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was still popular when I got this game. And I always liked like war movies or war video games. I've always wanted to be a soldier, so Commando was the best place to start. And I remember dying, I think it was like World 3. I think there's only 4 levels, but I think level 3 is where I died most of the time. And I always fell in love with this game. And the soundtrack is pretty good. I think there's only like 2 songs, but the intro song is pretty good. And the helicopter that drops you off and rescuing prisoners for points. Yeah, this is a points-based game. And I remember beating it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just beat Commando. I beat this game. And then what I decided to do years later, I remember beating this 4, 8, 12, 16 times I beat this. Like, I was going to 1 through level 4 over and over and over until I finally got it. It was like the good ending where it's finally over, and I was like, I am so great that I feel so great that I beat this game. Okay, so this next game, and this is the Super Mario Brothers, not the Duck Hunt, but Super Mario Brothers. I remember when me and my dad played this game. He'd be Mario and I'd be the little brother Luigi, and we would play this for hours. And I remember beating it for the first time. I was like, oh my god, I beat Super Mario Brothers, yeah! That's what the 10-year-old kid would have did. The 10-year-old me. And I remember, just like Commando, I decided to do it, I think like 4 or 5 times. Just do it on a loop. And there was no good ending, unfortunately. It was just the same. It was the same ending. But yeah, Super Mario Brothers. Okay, so these 2 games, I am so glad that I beat them, and they are one of the top hardest Nintendo games. And you know which ones I'm talking about. It is Contra and Contra 2 Super C. These 2 games will destroy you. They will make you a better person or a worse person. But I remember when I was playing these games, and I remember, thanks to Brentofloss, the Konami code, it gets 2 up, 2 down, left, right, B, A, start. And I remember beating this for the first time with the code, that it just felt amazing. Like for me getting older, like 20 plus old, I was able to beat this and I was so excited. And then I thought about it one day that I think I should do this without the code. And I died so many times that it was barbaric. I remember throwing my controller on the floor and just cussing like a Czech sailor. It was, and I remember when I finally beat it, it felt good. And just like Contra with Super C, I think it gave you a 10 life code, and I beat it. I think I beat it like the following day or the following day after I bought this. And then I thought about it, just like Contra, I'm gonna do this again without the code. And like I said, it will tear you to shreds. You gotta remember the patterns and the enemy spawn in the most inconvenient of places, and the difficulty, it's up there. Like a solid 1,000. But I remember when I beat this game, it felt great. It felt great. I was able to get some sleep. But yeah, these two games that I am very proud of, that I have beaten. So yeah, like I said, these two games. And then the final game that I was very happy to beat, I beat it a few months ago, and these were one of the games where I wanted to beat it on the original hardware. And I finally did, and I'm glad that I did. It's Super Mario Brothers 3. I remember just using the warp whistles to get to World 8, and I remember going through World 8 and just dying over and over and over. And then I remember that at the castle, not Bowser's castle, but this other castle with the Boom Boom. I remember when I beat it, and I was like I was literally at Bowser's doorstep, and the laser killed me, and I knew I had to restart. But then I realized that when I beat the Boom Boom earlier, I was able to use the tunnels. So in other words, I was able to go to Bowser's castle as many times as I went. So I told myself, I am not giving up. I am going to beat this game. It was like already almost 30 years old. So I had to beat this game. And I remember I was on my last life. And I remember when I finally beat the game and I saw Princess Peach, my heart sank. But I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I beat Super Mario Brothers 3. And the way she said just kidding, it was just like, I was like, are you serious? But even though I knew it was the ending. Super Mario Brothers 3 is always going to be my favorite game. So it always feels good when you get to complete the game that you grew up with, your favorite game that you used to play after school or even before school. Yeah, this is one of the games I played before school and after school. But yeah, these are all my the top 5 NES games that I have. So glad that I have beaten, because now I can finally sleep and not have to worry about thinking about the levels again. Even like Ghosts and Goblins, you know, that game, I still regret not being able so close. But yeah, it just feels so good when you get to complete your favorite games. But unfortunately, you know what I gotta do? I gotta end this right here. If you like this video, take Contra, Super C, Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers, and Commando, and put them in your NES to hit that like button. Also, share it with a friend and make sure to subscribe for more Cheeto-rific content. And speaking of videos, I, Cheeto, wearing the Czech Republic cap, the Mario Brothers t-shirt, 10 hands, we'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Wait, 10 hands. I mean 10 fingers. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. You guys take care and y'all have a great Cheeto-rific day.